Welcome to MMO Grinder Sidequest, where I take a look at closed beta and trial subscription games, giving you a quick first impression. Today I'll be looking at TERA, which recently released a 7-day trial on their site. Just about everyone will talk about how graphics intensive this game is, and that's no lie. My computer was chugging along just to get it running at low settings, and the game took some interesting shortcuts to compensate, like having characters appear as blue outlines until they've loaded in, or some enemies appearing invisible, but I'm still able to attack them due to me aimlessly swatting at their floating health bar. Obviously not an issue everyone will have to deal with, but at least anyone with my PC situation or worse will know what to expect. There's also a massive launcher in the game that you have to keep up in the background that was putting an even further strain on my ailing PC. Proving once again this game was tailored to the high-res, the interface is painfully small by default, but your text size can be thankfully adjusted right from the game's login screen. Okay, everyone who's heard about this game knows of one thing, the action combat system. In this game, you control the camera like a first or third-person shooter, complete with a crosshair in the middle of the screen. This is present for both melee and range classes. Instead of selecting an enemy to target them, then right-clicking to auto-attack in this game, you simply turn towards your target and tap and hold the left mouse button to start attacking, while right-click usually performs a defensive maneuver, like a backward dash or rolling dive. This isn't always the case for every class. The rest of your skills are assigned to numbered hotkeys, with some that chain together by pressing spacebar when used. Since your mouse controls the camera, you'll need to press Alt to switch to the interface mode, or you'll be able to interact with the interface. Pressing Alt again will cancel this, as well as just moving your character around. As expected, the game has a combat-heavy focus, and nearly all quests are kill quests, having you kill a set number of monsters or obtaining a number of items from them. In a feature similar to Ion, you can track the enemies or NPCs for the quest by clicking on their names in the quest log, and they'll show up in the minimap. The game features a stamina system, but not in the way you'd expect that to mean. Stamina in this game means how effective your attacks are. Anything above 100% allows you to attack with full power, and once you dip below that, you take a hit to your attack power and health. This is easily restored by finding a campfire and standing near it. Campfires are available in portable form, or located within most towns. Campfires also allow you to cast temporary buffs on yourself in the form of charms, which grant you a random buff in one of three categories: attack, defense, and special. Another way to boost power, taken straight from the Lineage and Ion handbook, comes in the form of power crystals, which boost your attack as long as you have them activated. There's a story in this game, but I'm hard-pressed to even care about it, as it seems the translation team sure as hell doesn't. I don't know anyone who's told me that they haven't just skipped through all the quest text and even the cutscenes, which feature some atrocious voice acting, ranging from bland and phoned in to hammed the hell up. I'm baffled, since I know the cutscenes in both Ion and Lineage 2 were well acted and interesting, and yet TERA feels the need to animate the quest where I need to kill a bipedal tree because it's beating up on pigs, then only to be told later to go murder those same pigs myself for the sake of target practice. It makes no damn sense. This is one of those games where the localization seems to give little care to the translation, and many quest names and NPCs break the fourth wall or make shoehorned references, and don't get me started on the BAMs, which TERA officially and unapologetically states stands for Big-Ass Monsters. The game has some oddly fast respawn rates, which, while convenient, seems to be a bit too quick, especially when it comes to the quest bosses. There has been times where I fought hard against and defeated a boss, only to have to run from them as they respawn a few seconds later before I even had the chance to recover. Hell, I've seen instances where 3 of the same type of boss were all standing around in a general area. This isn't the type of game where your actions feel like they're going to make any real impact. This is a fairly massive world, and getting around it may take a while, so luckily you are granted access to a mount at level 11. The map is littered with gathering nodes, and you don't need any sort of crafting training to gather them. Don't hesitate to snatch these up, as not only could you trade or sell the materials to other players, but gathering occasionally will grant you combat buffs, and many of them stack, giving you a bit more incentive to get off your horse and go hammer some rocks. This game does not do well in explaining certain game aspects to you. My best example comes in the form of Glyphs, a character customization system where you can slot bonuses to your skills. The problem lies in the fact that once you reach level 20, the appropriate level for these glyphs, the game does little to tell you about it. I had to look it up online that was supposed to go back to a certain NPC, get a quest from him, and talk to another before the option was unlocked, and the game didn't even explain how to use them anyway. I ran my first dungeon run with no glyphs activated because I had no idea I had to manually activate them after I purchased and equipped them. Speaking of dungeons, they are rather interesting, but it wasn't that far out of the norm. They follow the typical path of kill a bunch of enemies, find the boss, kill him, although it was a nice twist to see the boss give way to a larger and even tougher boss when defeated. Community-wise, while the limits of the trial kept me from so much as saying hi to people, I couldn't help but notice that there was a lot of arguing going on, and a lot through the political system, where players can apparently vote players and guilds into positions of power. I can't go deeper into how this works as I was unable to experience it myself, and this is an impressions video, not a review. I'm not about to go into Wikipedia to parrot the system back to you, so feel free to look into that one if it intrigues you. Personally, since just like real-life politics, it seemed to result in nothing more than people complaining about the current people in power, while the people in power make constant excuses as to why things are the way they are, I'm not willing to inject that into my personal escapist medium. While I don't see why TERA is as well loved as it seems to be, I can easily agree that the game does open itself up a bit more once you pass level 20, and start opening up some skills and dungeons. The demo capped you at level 23. Still, at the risk of serious fallout, I will say the demo did little to convince me that this is the MMO I should be playing at the moment. I just didn't have as much fun with the game as everyone else seems to be having. But make the decision for yourself. If you're still on the fence, head over to tera.unmas.com and enter the code TERATRIAL when registering. Alternatively, if your PC isn't beast enough, you can check out a streaming demo of the tutorial area by accessing tera.unmas.com/demo. This has been an MMO Grinder Sidequest, and it's time I logged out.